March is where it all happens in college basketball. It's where legends are born and where hearts get absolutely shattered. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most unbelievable collapses in recent memory. It's a story about massive stakes, flaring tempers, and one single blunt quote that tells you everything you need to know about what it feels like to be in that pressure cooker. Just listen to that. Because that was my decision. You can almost hear the tension, right? It's clipped, it's defensive, it's like a wall just went up. So what on earth was the decision? And why did it need to be defended so fiercely? All right, so where did that quote even come from? Well, it came from this man, Hubert Davis, the head coach for North Carolina. And he was, to put it mildly, frustrated. He was trying to explain how his team just had a shocking early exit from the NCAA tournament. So picture this, a tense press conference right after the game. The air is thick. UNC just lost an absolute heartbreaker to VCU in overtime. And a reporter asks Coach Davis a tough question. Why did you stick with such a small six-man rotation when your team looked completely gassed? And that's when he said it. Not really an explanation, more like a shutdown, a wall. So how does a team like UNC, a true powerhouse with a massive lead, even end up in that position? To really get the frustration behind that quote, we've got to rewind. We have to look at the game itself and break down exactly how this 19-point meltdown happened. 19. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how big North Carolina's lead was. A 19-point cushion in the biggest, most important tournament in college basketball. I mean, that should have been game, set, match. But it wasn't. And it all started with their shooting. After they built that huge lead, the Tar Heels went absolutely ice cold. From that point on, they only hit 7 of their next 25 shots. You can just feel the momentum, the confidence just draining away with every single clank off the rim. Oh, but it gets worse. You go to the free throw line, right? That's supposed to be where you stop the bleeding, get some easy points. Nope. They missed 8 crucial free throws. 3 of those came in overtime. These weren't just misses, they were like giving away free gifts that could have sealed the win. And here it is. This is the knockout punch. The team missed their last 9 shots in a row. Think about that for a second. 9 straight misses to end your season. When the pressure was at its highest, UNC's offense just vanished. And this right here, this is the chess match behind the game. It's a tale of 2 different coaches. On the VCU bench, their coach saw it happening. He told his guys, look, they're tired. UNC is running on fumes. He saw the weakness. Meanwhile, on the UNC side, Coach Davis said after the game, he didn't think fatigue was a factor at all. One coach smelled blood in the water, and the other didn't even seem to see the shark circling. But this whole collapse wasn't just about stats or tired legs. No, this was about drama, human drama. It was about one single moment of on-court swagger that gave VCU all the fuel they needed for their fire. This was the moment they didn't just see a chance, they truly smelled blood in the water. So meet UNC's Henri Veesaar. Apparently, he'd been trash-talking VCU the whole game. But then he made a huge mistake. He points to the name on the front of his jersey, North Carolina. He's basically saying, you know who we are? We're the big dogs. It was a classic power play, trying to intimidate the smaller school. And wow, did it backfire. And this lays it out perfectly. You've got the taunt and then the immediate answer. Veesaar points to his jersey, and guess who responds? VCU's Lazar Djokovic, the exact guy Veesaar was jawing at. He doesn't just hit one shot, he drains back-to-back threes. Right there, that was the spark. That's what lit the whole comeback on fire. And just listen to what Djokovic said after the game. We smelled the blood, we see the look in their faces, and from then on, we just went on a run. Man, that's not just basketball talk, that is the language of a hunter. They didn't just see a team that was struggling, they saw a team that was broken, and they pounced. So, VCU completes the comeback, and UNC, well, they're sent packing. But for a blue blood program, a team with the history of North Carolina, this was way more than just another loss. This was a historically painful moment, and for a lot of their fans, it felt sickeningly familiar. Yeah, these numbers really put it all into perspective. We're talking about the biggest collapse in the tournament in years. It's tied for the largest ever in this first round. And look at this. Getting knocked out in the first round for the second year in a row, that's a first for the program. This wasn't just a bad game. For a team that expects championships, this was historic failure. And that brings us right back to Coach Davis, because after that first defensive, that was my decision, the wall, it kind of came down. He ended the press conference with this. He showed the human side of it all. His sadness wasn't about the program's history. It was for his players. It's such a huge contrast, and it shows you the incredible personal toll a loss like this can take. So what are we left with? It's this question. We can look at the stats all day, we can second-guess every coaching move, but when a 19-point lead just evaporates under the brightest lights in sports, how much of it really comes down to the stuff you can't measure? The weight of human pressure, of fatigue, of emotion. It's the ultimate reminder that these games aren't played by the names on the jerseys, but by the people wearing them.